Hey, it's Clay at ClayTrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. First off, a couple quick clarifications. Number one, I am trading futures. If you don't know what futures are, I'll put a link down below to a totally free 4-part series that walks you through the futures market and how it all works. Big thing about the futures is no pattern day trend rule, open pretty much around the clock, 23 hours a day, 6 days a week, and a lot of other great things, especially the amount of money that is needed, not a whole lot. Therefore, your risk is very, very minimal, which segues into the next point. I am day trading futures through a prop firm. So what is a prop firm? How does a prop firm work? Which prop firm, excuse me, am I using? All that can be found at the link up above. But in a nutshell, a prop firm is a way for you to put very little of your money at risk. Then you have a whole lot of upside potential. So if that sounds like something that could be of value to you, then definitely check out that link up above. So, and then on that note, I should say, like I said earlier about futures and being open around the clock, I'm technically starting slightly in the green. That is a trade from quote unquote last night because futures, like I said, are open up pretty much around the clock. So starting up slightly in the green there, but we'll see what else I can find. So I'll pause the screen recording software for now. And actually, I already kind of know what I'm looking for. That yellow line right there, I'll just bring it over and show. So all this is mapped out ahead of time. So in the private community that I offer, right there, watching that yellow line as is that going to be the upside break point. So watching that very close for a potential breakout. And for any members in the community, if they agree with that, then they're probably going to be watching that too. Maybe, who knows, maybe some are like, no, Clay, I'm not looking for a breakout. I'm looking for that to be a short. But actually, as I speak right now, the price is getting further and further away. But we'll see what happens. I will pause the screen recording software for now. All right, I have an order to buy at that green line. I'm going to try to anticipate a break of the yellow line. Price has first got to make its way up there. Before I'm going to get filled. So let's see if the price can come up to that green line. It drops down more. I'll try a buy there instead now. I'm in. And out there, very nice. Very, very nice. If you blinked, you missed it, but over $2,000. I know. Comes across as a scam, but that's why futures are very, very, how do I put this? Are very nice. What with all that said though, let me be very clear. Wait, what? That was like $2,000 in like less than 5 seconds. It was. And there it is, the break of the yellow line there. But remember, they can also move against you just as quickly, which is why, to me, prop firms are a no-brainer type deal, because the way prop firms work, if they were to move against you that quickly without going too far down the rabbit hole, the structure of the prop firm is going to, wow. Oh, well, congratulations, any members that took that yellow line. Who would have thought that I sold that way too soon, even though it was $2,000 in less than like 5 seconds? Well, and no hindsight here. You saw me post everything ahead of time. So yeah, any members that watch these videos and took that, congratulations. If you are interested in joining, just go to ClayTrader.com, and that is where that you can find my private community at. But yeah, there we go. So anyways, like I said, that is where I want to be very transparent. Yes, that is like a scam-like result, but just know that they can move equally as fast against you if you're not careful. But that's the prop firm model, and why it can be so helpful is it helps you manage your risk, because at the core, your personal capital at risk is actually very, very minimal. So definitely check out that link up above if that sounds like value. And I'll just say it, like, I think if you are brand new to futures and you're using your own money, I think that's a very dangerous thing to do, because not a movement like this, obviously the movement like this went in my favor, but if they go against you and they go against you quick, it can be thousands of your capital gone just like that. So just remember, it is a two-sided coin. I know it's very easy to just, whoa, $2,000 in 5 seconds, whoa. But again, that coin certainly has two sides, and maybe you think I'm belaboring the point. Maybe I am, but I don't want this to. I want you to have a full understanding of things. So yes, just keep that in mind. Prop firms are great for that very reason. So, all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and change to a different contract type, which is another cool thing about futures, because I want to start to protect these gains. So I can still make money on the on the account, but it'll be a different contract. So over here, this was actually trading gold. And then what I was doing right there is a NASDAQ. So I can still do NASDAQ, but now I can do, so if you look right here, it's NQ. Now I can do the M M as in Mary, but it stands for this micro, meaning things, if I'm right, aren't going to add up as quickly. But if I'm wrong, they're not going to add up as quickly against me. So it's a nice way to control the risk. So, all right, well, the upwards move continues. So we'll see if we can get some sort of pullback. But sorry for going on such a kind of a long little rabbit trail there. But with that said, I know what those results can do to people all of a sudden is what? $2,000, 5 seconds. And then you can just lose your mind and sign up. And then before you know it, you're getting punched in the face. So just tread lightly. All right, looking to get long here. Oh, I got one. Let's see if it goes back down and wants to fill. There we go. So long on the pullback. Okay, I'll take that out. Again, $42. So the ones that I start off move 10 times as fast. So in hindsight, had I done the NQ contract, that would have actually been $420. But per what I just discussed, I'm all about risk management now. So yes, at this point, I'm regretting choosing to do the MNQ. But had I been wrong and had it pulled back and stopped me out, instead of being down, $500, I'd be down $50. So that's another cool thing. Same chart, same movement, all that. It just, the P&L adds up a little quicker or slower. So there's even flexibility, within futures. So this is coming across as a sales pitch for future. Well, I mean, I think futures is pretty cool. I think this is a good video to illustrate that. Great movement, but great control in the sense of choosing different types of contracts. So you're trading the same chart, just trading the chart, allowing the P&L to, add up in different ways. Wow. Granted, I'm speaking in hindsight, but I sold that one way too soon too, didn't I? Whoops. All right, I'll pause and see if we can find some other trades. All right, I'm going to potentially think a short here, which is maybe crazy, but at some point you got to think this thing is running out of steam. But I'll have the tighter risk. Plus, I have overall macro risk control, as we can call it, because of the contract that I'm using. So that's the other nice thing about the contracts is you can just control your risk very, very straightforwardly, because I know that if I'm wrong, it's not going to be, the end of the world. Now, if you're sticking with the very volatile contracts, then, things get maybe a little bit more gray, but in this situation, not so. So if it pops back up again, yep. There you go, going to get short here. Put my stop up there. So I'm in, and if this is some sort of top, great. If not, I'll take my loss, move on, and it is what it is. So put out a couple different cover orders there. Like I said, very basic premise there. Either this thing's going to keep grinding against me and take me out, and it looks like it's going to stop me. I was very close, and I am stopped. All right. So that one did not work. Let me cancel these out. And, but notice down here, still plenty green on the day. Ooh, no, maybe another try. Was I a little early? I'm in. Unless it just suckered me in once again, but throw out a couple orders there, see if I can get those. Well, could have taken the scalp on it, but like I said, I'm hoping for a little bit more than that. Come on down. Well, how did that not fill me? That was kind of goofy. Wow, that's, I guess, as close as you can get to being filled without being filled. That is irritating. Well, at this point, I'm going to cancel that one out and go for a little bit more. If it gets down there, I'm also going to basically put my stop at break even now. If it gets closer, I want to see it come down more though first. Like this one may get the best of me again. Put my stop up there. Again, I had plenty of opportunities for a green, but I decided not to take them. So, right, out again. But again, from a macro risk perspective, still plenty green on the day. And whoops, don't want to forget about that one. So yes, in hindsight, I should have taken the green when I had it a couple different times, but I wanted, thinking it might come down a little bit more, but it didn't. All right, I'll pause. All right, this thing is really seemingly getting overextended here, so push it up again, and I'll try. Whoa, what was that? Add a little bit more there. Add some more there. Blue line is my average, so if it goes down below there, that is good. There we go. So got a nice little chunk of it back. Now only down 63. So if this wants to push back up, I will start that sequence over again. All right, I will. Please tell me I was recording that whole time. That was something interesting. All right, good. I was recording. All right, I'll pause. All right, I'm going to try a short if it wants to come back down to that red line. In. Want to come back down. Keep trying to obviously catch these tops, and it's not totally working, but I mean, this thing's got to run out of steam at some point, you would think. A little bit more. Okay, out there. So now down 25 on that one. This candle here is making me think, is it finally going to come down a little bit more? Hesitated to get in right there on the short side. Yeah. All right, now I'm feeling a little bit, I'm starting to, I think I'm getting into the over trading zone a little bit, so I need to chill out. So I'm going to pause, just chill out. And there finally is the pullback here that I was trying to find the whole time and never really could. But there it is. I'll pause. And I'm going to go ahead and call it good. Before I go, though, I do want to invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering. So if you're a beginner trader, a struggling trader, very, very confident this class will be able to help you out, give you some things to think about. If you are a battle-hardened veteran with a rock-solid strategy, you are welcome to attend. I'm not quite sure you'll necessarily get anything from it. I suppose there's always a chance, but my confidence level is much higher if you are, like I said, a beginner trader just getting started, or somebody that's struggling with your trading. Like I said, I'm very confident that the class will help you out in one way or another. So be sure to go to claytrader.com/live, or just check out the link in the description area to learn when the next live class is. So thanks for hanging out. Make sure you hit that like button. Take care and have a good one.